Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Beauty by Nisha. If you don't know, my name is Nisha. Today's video is a little bit different for me. I actually kind of wanted to film a little bit of video kind of telling you guys about like so far my pregnancy journey. So as of today, I'm about 26 weeks. So I am more than halfway there. I have about 14 weeks left if he's not early. So it could be less, never know. So if you want to see and hear a little bit about my journey so far, then continue to watch and don't forget to subscribe. So I have had a little bit of a cold over the last few days, so my voice is kind of weird, might sound a little bit different, a little bit stuffy. This is my second cold while being pregnant and it freaking sucks. Having a cold during pregnancy is like really rough. Like you can't really take any cold medicine or anything like that. So you kind of just have to troop it out. Plus your immune system already kind of sucks. So it's not really fighting things off as quickly as it usually would. So I feel like the sickness is like forever. Plus like the body aching, it's like literally just feels, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like so painful and I don't wish it on anyone who's pregnant and like gets a cold, just even like your common cold. It has been really rough. Like my body like hurt so bad and I had like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 hot showers just to help with the aching, hot baths. So if you can avoid getting a cold while being pregnant, good for you. Like keep it up because it is not a good time. It's like you take cold medicine for granted. That's what it feels like. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit first about like my first and second trimester, kind of some of the experiences that I had. So in the first trimester, there's a lot of bloating. I probably look like as pregnant as I am now at 26 weeks, maybe a little bit smaller, but like at the first like few weeks of my first trimester, like I was so bloated. I looked like I was like way more far along than I really was. It all went away eventually, but it was like, it sucked because your whole body, like your hormones and stuff, everything's adjusting, so your body's doing some weird shit. And then in about, I think it's like week 6 to 7, I had morning sickness, but I only had morning sickness for a week and a half. I am one of those lucky people who had a short morning sickness period. I was actually really surprised because when I started to feel better, I was like worried that I was like, am I even still pregnant anymore? Like why do I feel fine? Like this isn't right. So when I talked to my doctor, she was like, no, that's good. However, it could potentially come back. Like it might just be like for now and then it might just come back again later on. It never did. I only had it for that week and a half, but the unfortunate thing is I actually had it during my honeymoon in Hawaii. Yeah, so that wasn't fun, but the first half of the week that I was there was fine. I could still eat everything that I wanted to eat. I didn't feel sick, and then once like the Wednesday hit, like actually like exactly halfway through our trip, it was like all downhill from there. Like I felt really sick and nauseous. I didn't puke, but I was very, very nauseous. I couldn't really eat, and every time we would go to a restaurant, I just felt so bad because I was like, I just like don't know what to eat. Like I would order something and I would see it and I would smell it and I'd be like, nah, honey, I don't want this anymore. So it kind of put a little bit of cramp in the vacation, but all in all, Hawaii is beautiful, and I'm definitely gonna go back. I'm gonna try to do a redo in a few years and actually go and be able to like eat the things that I want to eat because I love like poke and stuff like that, like raw fish. So I gotta go and actually like experience all that good stuff. Another thing in the first trimester that I had was acne. My acne was really, really bad. So like when I wake up in the morning, I would do my regular like kind of like skincare routine, and then what would happen is I'd go out and like do stuff for like a few hours. I'd come back to like our Airbnb, for example, in Hawaii, and I would have like a whole bunch of new pimples all over my face. Like I was like, what the hell? And then even when I would come back home, so I was like, maybe it's just because the humidity or something in the air is making my face break out even quicker than it usually does. But even when I was back home, it was like within a few hours I would have new pimples. So it was like every few hours. It was so annoying, and my skin was so dry, so freaking dry. Like it was like I couldn't do anything, and I was very cautious with skincare in the beginning because I didn't know what I could and couldn't use. I did about a month and a half of research, anything I was unsure about, and I also brought it to my doctor. If you want like a full like what you should and shouldn't use during pregnancy, I would recommend reaching out to a doctor or dermatologist. I didn't go to a dermatologist. I kind of just went to my doctor about like specific ingredients because I do have breakouts. I'm more prone to them. So there's a lot of things like retinol, salicylic acid kind of thing. Like those things you're not supposed to use. Those are like, just don't use them if you can avoid them. Retinol is like actually like a big no-no. Don't use it. It actually does cause birth defects. So I stopped using anything in the beginning of my pregnancy. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I stopped using products that had that in that. As well as like most of the time retinol products will say do not use while pregnant or breastfeeding. So hopefully your products say that if you're not sure. But so I stopped using those products, and then I was like, hey, well, there's like so much to know and like learn. Like, how do you know what you can and can't use? And I find that natural products just don't really do anything for me. So I use like very basic skincare, like cleansing, my regular like moisturizers and like eye cream, but I wouldn't do like a full like face like routine because I was like worried about products. So I would I did a lot of research and such, and then I talked to my my doctor about anything I wasn't sure about. So everybody's doctor is different, everybody's different. I dealt with my breakouts the best I could. I hated that I couldn't use a lot of the skincare I normally would use for my breakouts because I found that my breakouts were just so bad. The breakouts that you have during pregnancy are definitely hormonal. So you're going through all these hormone changes. So a lot of products that you use that you normally would use for like just breakouts in general, which could be like stress, dirt on your face, whatever, your pores kind of thing, it doesn't always work anyway because it's hormonal. You're just going to keep breaking out regardless of what you use, which is how I felt. But eventually got better, and now I get like a few here and there, but it's not as bad as it was in the first trimester. And then just like most of the first trimester, I would say is you're just tired all the time. Like you just don't feel that great. You just kind of just feel like bleh. Like I think like for the first trimester for me, the biggest thing is that I just didn't feel like myself. My body was going through all of these changes and things weren't fitting the same, and like hormone wise everything's just out of whack. So I just like, for me personally, I just like didn't feel like myself. I wasn't really filming makeup videos. I wasn't filming anything for YouTube. I was barely on social media. I kind of just cut myself off from the world just because of how I felt. And it wasn't because I was sad or depressed or anything. I just like was like, I just don't really feel like doing anything. Like I just kind of feel like laying in bed and watching TV and just chilling because like I just feel like shit. My first trimester wasn't as tough as it probably has been for other women. I feel like, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I feel like I had it easy. I was prepared to be sick for like months because my mom was sick with all 5 of us the whole time throughout like most of her pregnancy. My sisters were both very sick, like very nauseous, morning sickness for a good chunk of their pregnancy as well. So I was totally prepared to just be like, just give it to me. Just give me the morning sickness. I know it's gonna be really bad. I'm just gonna feel like crap. I was lucky enough to not have to deal with that. So okay, and then so for the second trimester so far, my energy levels started coming back in the very beginning. Well, not very beginning, but like 2-3 weeks in, my energy levels started to come back. I started to feel a little bit more energized. The acne started to kind of go away. I started to just kind of feel a little bit normal again, I guess you could say, because the hormones kind of, your body gets used to it. The only thing is like you start producing so much more blood. So like I would get kind of dizzy at times. I would feel like nauseous, not because of morning sickness, but because like I just felt dizzy, like I was gonna faint and stuff like that. Like there was a few instances where I actually was worried I would. So, you know, like it's just like that kind of stuff because your body's like getting used to working like at maximum capacity that it probably could. After like a few weeks getting into it, kind of starts to get a little bit better. Well, for me it did anyway. And there's but then you get past like a few more weeks, and then what kind of happens is you just you start to get bigger, you start to gain weight, you start carrying extra weight. So for me, the weight gain, I fluctuated a lot in my weight because when I was sick, I wasn't really eating very much, and I was a very picky eater. There was things I would want to eat, I would start eating, I'd be like, no, this is making me feel sick, I can't eat it. So I still was a very picky eater, but then in the second trimester, like halfway through, I would say, I started to be able to eat kind of whatever I wanted to eat again without feeling sick. But the weight gain, so for me, approximately for my like height and like weight starting off throughout pregnancy, I'm supposed to gain, well, like healthy wise would be like 15 to 20 pounds. In the first like few weeks of the second trimester, I had only gained like 2 or 3 pounds, and I was like, I don't think this is normal. And then I started to actually gain weight. So far I've gained 11 pounds since what I started off at before I was pregnant. So I feel like I'm on track. I don't really know. I'm surprised because I haven't really been exercising. I go to the gym when I can, but like it's not every week. It's probably like every few weeks, and then maybe I'll go like a few weeks in a row, and it's only like 2 or 3 days maybe. So like I feel like I could do better, but I'm also like, I'm just, the time that I have and when I have energy, I want to do things around the house and like get things ready, or like clean up and like, or film videos and stuff like that. Like it's like the energy I have, I don't want to spend it at the gym. I want to do something else that's productive for myself. Also with the weight gain means that the baby is also getting bigger. For one thing, I have a very big boy. I think that he is going to be a little bit on the larger side. That's just me. I just feel like that's where we're headed. He also is so active, like so freaking active. Like he kicks all the time, and like for like, I swear it's like for hours at a time, and I'm like, dude, aren't you tired? Like, don't you need to sleep? Like, you're a tiny little baby. Like, how do you have all this energy all the time? Like, he's so energized, like, and he just like, he loves to roll around and like dance and whatever he does in there. That's what he's like. And sometimes it already feels like there's just not enough space in there for him because he's like already getting too big, and I feel like my frame is like too small or something. I don't know, but you know, like it's all he's only gonna have left space. But he kicks hard when he's trying to like make space for himself, and he pushes pretty hard. And like being in week 26, like that kid is strong. He is a strong little baby so far. Like there's times where he will like push with his feet, or like feels like it's probably his whole arm, and he's just like pushing, but he's pushing outwards, and I'm like, dude, there's nowhere to go from there, so it's like chill. But it's like, it's not like super painful, but it's like it's kind of uncomfortable. Not only that, but when like he kicks, sometimes it feels like it kicks like in your butthole. Like from the inside, it feels like he's kicked towards your butt, or like right in the like vagina, and you're just like, it's uncomfortable. And it actually kind of like, I think that kind of hurts a little bit more, where I'm like, ow, like please don't kick that area, like no, it's uncomfortable. And yeah, there's just, it's like, it's totally weird, like where they move and where they kick and stuff like that. Like it's like, can you not? And with the size and the kicking and all that kind of stuff, what comes along with that is then you start to get no sleep. When I switch sides, because I start to get uncomfortable because he's like pushed up against the one side and it starts to hurt, so I switch sides. But I'm always awake when I do that, like because I'm uncomfortable. I can't just like move when I sleep. Not only that, but sometimes he's very, very active at night, and there's times where his like kicks don't really bother me and stuff, and his movements are just kind of whatever. They don't bother me that much, but then sometimes it's like intense. And I don't know if this is gonna gross you guys out, but so as they get bigger, like he's kind of sits up front. So when he's up front, what happens sometimes when I'm sleeping, and this happened the other night, and this is the first time I've ever felt this, and I was like, holy shit, it's only gonna get more so because he's only gonna get bigger, is he was pushed right up front and right up on my side. And I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I can feel his like little bony spine up against me. Like I was like, oh my god. Like at first I was like, this is so disgusting and so creepy and so weird. And then because he didn't move, he was just kind of sleeping there, I was like, it's kind of cute because like I know exactly where he is. His little back is like pushed up against like my, like I felt like I could literally go like this to my belly, and his little body would be like in the palm of my hand. Like that's how it felt. Like that's how much he was pushed up against me, and I was like, this is so cute. And like I could feel his like little leg and stuff. It's kind of weird the first time you feel it, but then like when you start to like think about it, it's actually pretty cool. Like that's your tiny little human that like you can feel and see kind of like in your belly, you know? I think that's the best part is like the kicking and the body movements, the body rolling. Like every time he moves, I feel so connected. And like when I think about it, like I'm the only one that gets to feel this right now, right? Like his dad will never get to feel what it feels like to have that connection with him inside. And like right now, like I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, right now he is all mine. Like I don't have to share him with anyone because nobody else can have him. Nobody else can have these experiences with him, only me. So it's like he's just like, he's all mine for like 9 to 10 months, right? Like just mine. And it's kind of cool. Like it's, I think a lot of the time when people ask you about pregnancy or tell you about pregnancy, they tell you about kind of a lot of the crappy things about it. And yes, you kind of already are anticipating that, you know, you're going to have morning sickness. You're going to feel like crap. You're going to be tired. There's going to be an influx of heartburn and diarrhea or constipation. Like all of these things happen during pregnancy, and some people have it more severe than others. But like for me, it's like overcoming all of like the downsides is the bond and the relationship I have with my child already, and I haven't even met them yet. I am one of those, probably those crazy people, like those crazy women that's like, I love being pregnant. It's a great time. Like I actually mean that. Like I actually really do enjoy being pregnant. It's been pretty great. So besides like the first and second trimester like experiences so far, like there's a lot of things that kind of go on like emotionally, and like changes with like your friends and family and stuff that like I guess I wouldn't say like it's helpful advice. It's just kind of how I've dealt with things. Like for me, like with friends and family, like a lot of my friends I'm still very close with. We still see each other almost every weekend. We all get together and hang out. Like that hasn't really changed much, even though some of us are in different parts of and stages of our lives. It's been nice that everyone, like nothing has really changed in terms of like our friendships and stuff. With family, not too much has changed either. It's just a matter of like for me, I expected more, but I'm grateful for the people that I have that actually are there for me and have been there for me and like made sure and checked in on me and stuff like that. It's very nice. And like it's like during pregnancy you kind of see like who is concerned about you and who wants to know what's going on. How are you feeling? You know, like I have a lot of really solid people in my life that actually reach out to me regularly to see how I'm doing, and it's pretty cool. I like it. And like you see like you start to like appreciate your, like I already appreciated a lot of these people anyway, but I appreciate them that much more for being there and just like, you know, taking that second to just give me a text or something just to be like, what's up, how are you feeling, kind of thing. It's been an interesting experience, and there's a lot of people I'm very, very grateful for to have in my life. One thing is like, it's okay to say no. So like when you're pregnant, you're freaking, sometimes you just feel like crap, or like, you know what, you wake up in the morning, you're like, you know what, I feel pretty good today. I'm gonna make some plans today, and I think I might be able to do something. And then, you know, a few hours roll by, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I actually feel like shit. I feel like I just want to lay in bed and watch TV all day. This whole day, like, I don't know what happened, probably hormones or something like that, and just kind of goes all downhill from there. And you know what, to me, like, when you're pregnant, like, it's okay for you to say no. If my friend in general is like, I just don't feel like up for it today, like, I thought I did when I woke up this morning and I don't anymore. It's like, that's okay. Especially like when you're pregnant, your hormones are all over the place. Like at first I felt bad, But then, like, as my pregnancy progressed, I'm like, fuck it, I don't fucking care if you're upset about me being like, yeah, you know what, this morning when I woke up, I thought I could go and like go for lunch or something, but I woke up at 6 a.m. and I thought I had some energy to go do that, and now 2 hours later, I just can't even be bothered. I'm too tired. I need to take a nap. I need to sleep. You know, like, it's just, things change so quickly, and your mood changes, the way you feel changes. Like, all of a sudden you get really bad heartburn, and you're like, fuck, or like, you're just like very nauseous or something. Like, just, things happen so quickly. I'll briefly touch on like mental health. Mental health, I feel like, is a whole video itself. When it comes to mental health, always put yourself first for your mental health. For me, I have anxiety, and sometimes I do get depressed, but not like severe depression, but like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like, I know when I'm having like an episode, or I feel like I'm getting to that point, so I'm usually pretty good at pulling myself up, but kind of dealing with it since I was a teenager. But I've never been like diagnosed with depression or anything like that. But as a teenager, I was a very depressed teenager, but a lot of teenagers are and were. But like, for me, especially like anxiety, like, that is one thing that I struggle with the most. And I honestly was so worried that during pregnancy I would just be like a train wreck of anxiety. But because I have made very different like life decisions, like, for me, there are things that, you know, like, that used to bother me that I'm like, there's no point in letting it bother me anymore. I have to think about myself. I have to think about this little tiny human that is relying on me to mentally be healthy, physically be healthy, and just to like make it through and be happy. So like, your little baby, your little tiny human that's inside you is relying on you so much, not just for food and for, you know, like, growing and like being healthy as a whole, as like physically, but mentally it can be very straining on them as well. I honestly feel like they feel like how you feel. Like, I feel like if I'm sad, he like sits really far back instead of up at the front, and it's like he's hiding or something. Like, I feel bad. And so like, for me, just noticing the behaviors of when I was in a certain type of mood, then I kind of, I knew like I had to make a change for sure. So things, like, I feel like I used to be very, if you talk to my husband, I used to be very snippy and I had a lot of attitude. But during pregnancy, apparently I've been very nice. I've been not as snippy. I don't get mad. I don't get very upset. I do cry over weird things. Like, my husband was like, what do you want to eat? Do you want to eat anything? And I had already eaten. I was really full, and then I started crying because he kept asking me if I wanted to eat or what I wanted to eat. And he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that it was gonna upset you that much. And I was like, I already ate and I'm so full and uncomfortable, and like, just started crying. And then after, I was like, that was awkward. I don't know who that was. But like, the stuff like that. But you have to learn to like control your emotions, I feel like, more. Like, you know how when you PMS, you're just like all over the place, roller coaster. But like, during pregnancy, it is like that, like times 10, I feel like, or times 100, depending on yourself. But like, I feel like I have to have that much more control for the sake of myself and for like the baby kind of thing. So always take care of yourself and your mental health, for sure. It's not just about being physically healthy, it's also about being mentally healthy. You want to be a happy mommy as much as you can be. For me, like, especially during the summer being pregnant, there's usually in the summer I'm like, I'm gonna wear all these cute little outfits, I'm gonna be extra cute this summer. I'm still gonna be extra cute, I'm just gonna be like pregnant cute. So I wear a lot of like dresses and stuff. It took a little bit for me to get used to the fact that I was gaining weight and that my body after pregnancy is potentially not going to look the way it did before. And it was a little tough for me to like cope with that, because I felt like I had put so much work into my body over the years to look a certain way and to be a certain way. And that's like going to the gym, eating healthy, all that kind of stuff, right? So, and like for me, it's like I couldn't maintain it while being pregnant. Like, I couldn't go to the gym 5 days a week. I also moved out further from the gym that I currently go to, and I was just not interested in trying to find a new gym while being pregnant, because like I just don't want to do that. I'd rather do that afterwards. And like I just, even working out just isn't the same. Like I can't work out as hard as I usually would, and like just that kind of stuff. So it was tough for me to like cope with the fact that not only can I not maintain what I have had prior, hoping that I'll just bounce back to that, it's not even guaranteed that even if I did maintain it, I could bounce back to the way I looked before. My body's going to go through all these changes and I'm going to look different. So for me, it took a little bit for me to actually cope with it, but I'm kind of excited to see what my body is going to be like after pregnancy, and like after a few months after I go into labor and give birth. I'm excited to see like what I'm going to have to work with. Like what if it's like, like I know that even if I look at my body after and I'm like, this is going to be a lot of work, I feel pretty confident that I can really push myself to do that. And I think that's what kind of made me feel better. Like, you've done it before, you've made lifestyle changes to make yourself feel better and to like make your body image something that you are happy with, so you could do it again, kind of thing. So it might be a lot tougher and my body's probably going to be a lot different. I honestly think it's not going to be the same at all, but I'm going to do my best to like get back there. Just remember that your body is going to change. You can work out as much as you'd like or how much you can, and good for you if you do during your pregnancy, but you never know what your body's going to look like afterwards. You might bounce back and like still be, you know, like fit, look good, but like your hips might be different, your boobs might be different. Like there's so many things that change during that time, and your body is like moving and expanding and doing weird things, so it's a little bit different afterwards. I feel like you can never be the same after you give birth. If you are blessed. If you give birth and you look exactly the way you did before, good for you, honey. But that's really all that I have for you guys. It's a different video for me to kind of like talk to you guys about something that is like so different for me too. It's a whole new experience. There's so much about it. Like I probably missed a whole bunch of things that maybe like minor things that I experienced, but like it's been a journey. If you have any tips, tricks, advice for anyone, myself, or for anybody else who is pregnant and potentially has watched this video, please comment and leave your comments, like your advice, your tips, or whatever, even your questions down below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, it was a little different, but I hope you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload a new video, as well as give this video a like. Thanks for watching. Bye.